When it comes to presents, no one does it like Mr. Stevens. He's a great role model to those at Paramount Marist, and he does things without asking for anything in return, and he also gets involved with the community. Mr. Stevens is a very humble person. He only wants what's best for the school, and he also teaches what he preaches, which is evident in the students of Paramount Marist. We conducted an interview with Ms. Malazzo about Mr. Stevens' family spirit.
Marist is his family, and that he always talks about his daughters and his own personal family, but it's evident that the school is also a part of his family.
Mr. Stevens loves coming to work every day and seeing, the students of Paramount Marist. He's head of pastoral care, which means, he helps out all the students here. Mr. Stevens, he shows in the way of Mary because he works for God and he works for Mary and he does things in the name of Mary, and even his car plate is Marist.
Yes, I do. He shows a lot of presence with the boys and he shows a lot of patience with the boys, and he works, everything he does is for the boys.
As a colleague and friend of Mr. Stevens, do you believe that Mr. Stevens shows for the Marist charism?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Like I said in the previous question, it's that he shows simplicity in the way in which he approaches his work, and he shows a compassion for the boys as well, and he really does love his work.
What makes Mr. Stevens such a great role model to the students at Paramount Marist?
I think it's the way he shows the Marist charisms and how he displays them to the boys. He's very patient with the boys, and he's very fair with the boys as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Stevens is a very inspiring person at Paramount Marist. He helps students in sports and academically and inspires them in everything they do at our school.
I'm here with Jacob Leos of Class 9-2, recipient of the Assistant Principal's Award. So Jacob, how does Mr. Stevens inspire you to do your best?
Mr. Stevens inspired me to do my best as he's always there. He tries to not shy away from people's full potential, and he tries to just give people full best.
So do you think he's deserving of the Marist of the Year award?
Yes, I do. I think he deserves it 100%.
Thanks, Jacob. With Ms. Malazzo, thanks Ms. for coming. You moved to this school last year. As a relatively new teacher, how has Mr. Stevens welcomed you to the Marist family?
Well, you welcomed me straight from the beginning, so on my first or second day, he introduced himself and said what his role was and welcomed me to the Marist community and asked how he could help and if I ever had any issues, I could have a chat to him. And I feel that he welcomes everyone like that, so as if they've always been a part of the Marist family. That's how I felt when I started here. He made sure that he always asked, how I was going and how my family was. So, he was welcoming me into the bigger Marist community by asking about my own personal family. That was great.
Do you think that he displays all 5 Marist charisms?
Definitely, I definitely think Mr. Stevens displays all the Marist charisms. For example, his love of work. He loves being here, he loves the students, he loves the staff, he loves that Marist spirit that we have here at this school, and he really works hard to foster that. He thinks that's what makes a good school. For example, I know that he was working here, he left for a year or 2 and then came back, so that just shows that his love of work. He missed the school, exactly. In terms of family spirit as well, Marist is his family, and that he always talks about his daughters and his own personal family, but it's evident that the school is also a part of his family, and that's where his number plate is Marist, so you can't get much more Marist than that, I guess.
Thanks, Miss.
Thanks.
Mr. Stevens.
Thank you.